Zidane Danny, Electri Ninja here, and welcome back to Electri Ninja's Lab. Yes, I am talking very fast because of the fact that this video is going to be a long one. I want to get done as quickly as possible. But since there is a generation coming to an end for game consoles, I wanted to talk about every single game that I own for the PS4. And basically tell you why you should play it or should not play it. So, yes, let's get going, and this will be in alphabetical order, not order of completion, so let's get into it. Starting off with Detroit Become Human. Honestly, a fantastic game that really does deserve some attention, but the fact of the matter is that this is not a video game. This is a freaking choose your own movie. And even though it is a fantastic game, it's not the best. So, yeah. But I honestly did absolutely love the story. And I love that each person will find a different answer to how this story is going to play out. I, for one, ended on a pretty good ending with only one character being dead at the end. And yes, it's sad, and I'm not going to tell you who died, but it's hard. It's a sad game, but honestly one that you should absolutely check out if you guys are interested in anything that's like a choose your own adventure. So, yeah. Anyways, next up, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Good game, talked about it before, not going to spend too much time on it. The point is, it's fantastic. If you ever get a chance to play it, definitely do check it out. Next is Final Fantasy 15. Again, I've talked about it in extensive discussion. I haven't done a show it some love of this, but honestly, Final Fantasy 15 has been out for a long time. So basically, if you know you like it, and that's as much as I can really say about it. So yeah, look forward to that. But yeah. Next up, Ghost of Tsushima. This is a new Skyrim. That is the best way to put it. And honestly, it is a good game. And if you are gonna check it out, then please do, because honestly, I absolutely love this game, and I'm looking forward to completing it. It's Japanese Skyrim, and I will be giving you guys my show it some love in the next few days. So look forward to that showing up on the channel in a few videos. Next up, Jedi Fallen Order. I've talked about this extensively. It's honestly a great game. All of the characters are really magnificent. If you are planning on looking for any Star Wars game, I honestly suggest this one is probably the best one that they've ever made. So, yeah. Seriously. Star Wars game, probably the best of all of the Star Wars games. So, definitely check it out. Cal is honestly one of the best characters I've ever seen. So, yeah, definitely get that. Next up, let's just run through all of the Kingdom Hearts all at once. So, obviously, first off, we have 1.5 and 2.5. Obviously, these 6 games are amazing. Definitely check them out if you have a PS4 or a PS5, because everyone knows that Kingdom Hearts 1 through whatever is really good. Also, next is 2.8. Again, fantastic game. Finishing up these 9 games really strongly. Next up, Kingdom Hearts 3. We all know how good that is. I've talked about it extensively. I've talked about Remind extensively. And you can definitely expect to see more stuff about this. More stuff about Kingdom Hearts soon. And obviously, I got the deluxe edition, so you know I love it. And of course, finally, for Kingdom Hearts is Melody of Memory. I've talked about it extensively again. Honestly, fantastic game, just a bit annoying because of its chaos. I don't want to get too much into that, though. So, yeah. Still, get the games if you're interested. Kingdom Hearts, definitely top tier. Next up, The Last Guardian. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I haven't talked very much about this. Honestly, Last Guardian is definitely a top tier game. And considering the fact that it's a continuation of the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus series, it does a good job, especially considering the fact that it has aspects from both series to really make it one of the best games that I've ever played. And like I said, it has aspects of both games, so if you are interested in either of those games, then definitely give this a chance. And also play the other two games before getting this because it's actually kind of important. So, yeah. Alright, next up, The Last of Us. Haven't completed it yet, but honestly, I'm absolutely loving this game. The fact that you have to manage all of your resources and all of that stuff is actually makes this game a lot more fun. I know that's a weird thing to say, but honestly, I absolutely love The Last of Us. Yes, this is the remastered version, and I have not gotten the second one, and I don't plan to, but yeah. For what this game is, it absolutely does deserve some love, and yeah. Honestly, I love the dynamic between the two main characters, and basically all of the characters are really great. It is a horror game, so if you can't handle that, then don't get it. I'm actually realizing just, yeah, a few things that I probably should have mentioned before. Obviously, if any of these games are rated M, please make sure that you are over 17 before playing these games, especially if it's a horror game like this. Real quick, I'm just going to list off the games that are rated M that I've already talked about. Detroit Become Human, as well as Ghost of Tsushima, and of course, now this. So, if you're not over 17, ignore that these games exist for now, okay? Okay. Moving on. The Lego games. Obviously, we all know Lego City Undercover. It's gotten a lot of good rep for basically all of its time. I'm really glad that it made its way over to the PS4 because I was never going to be able to play it on the Wii U. But honestly, great continuation of the story. I played the original game on DS, which is a prequel to this. So definitely, if you play both games, play the 3DS game as well as this, and you will absolutely enjoy yourself. I don't necessarily promise it, but you will enjoy it, I think. Next up, Lego DC Supervillains. The most recent of the DC games still holds up. Probably the best one so far. Honestly, I've always loved that the DC games have continued to get better and better for each game. And considering the fact that it's still running strong, you can say for sure that this game is awesome. And yeah, obviously all Lego games are good, but some better than others. This one is definitely one of the top tier though. Next up, the Lego Incredibles game. Oh my gosh, this game is honestly really good, but more accurately, it should be called the Lego Pixar's game because there is so many just cameos of all of the Pixar characters, and if you like Pixar and Disney, then and obviously Incredibles, then definitely check this out. One of the biggest complaints I have about this game though is that it's only obviously the two main movies, and it starts with the second one and then does the first one, which is a bit disappointing, at least in my opinion. But it's still a fantastic game that I do absolutely love, and I think that you guys will as well. Alright, next. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Oh my gosh. Still fantastic game. Again, this is probably on the same level as Lego DC Supervillains. Maybe like a little bit lower, but honestly, I love the Lego Marvel games, and this is probably the best one. Probably closely followed behind by Lego Avengers. But yeah. Still has some great options and probably has one of the best character customizations in the entire series, with only Lego DC Supervillains having an even close tier. So, yeah, definitely, if you like Lego DC Supervillains, which I think is the more popular one, then definitely check out Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Don't necessarily worry about the other two, though. Those aren't as good. Next up, these pieces of garbage. The Lego Movie video game and the Lego Ninjago movie video game. Honestly, both of these could be left behind and no one would bat an eye. They have some good story, don't get me wrong, but considering the fact that I beat the Lego Ninjago movie completely and got all of the trophies within one day, it's just got a bad rap with me, and the Lego movie video game is not much better. It's only like a slight increase in quality. And both games do not have good character customization abilities, so yeah, they suck. And finally, the last of the Lego games, Lego Worlds. If you like Minecraft and other sandbox games, this is definitely the game for you. However, this does have some issues. It's not necessarily a bad game, but it does have its issues, and I know that some people are not going to enjoy this game because of the fact that it does not have a story. It's basically just go through the game, enjoy yourself as much as you can, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It absolutely could be better, and unfortunately they just never succeeded in making it better. It's honestly just a Lego game for Lego game's sakes. This this is their response to Minecraft, and that's all it will ever be. But it is still a decent game. So if you do like sandbox games, then I do suggest this, but it's not going to be for everyone. All right, now that we're done with the Lego games, we can move on to the My Hero games. Oh boy, these games are honestly really good. And I will fight people if they say that these aren't good. My Hero 1's Justice is a fantastic game that honestly is one of the best fighters that I've ever played. Really, only I think Smash Bros. Comes close. And One's Justice 2 just improved on it, adding characters as well as adding a lot more accessibility to a lot of things. And it continued the story, which honestly, that was one of the stories that I was really hoping to see that. I'm actually really excited to see what they're going to do for One's Justice 3, especially because of the fact that that one more than likely will actually be coming out after the next season. I'm not 100% certain though, because it's just a guess. And with the fact that there's the villain arc, we got some chaos to look forward to. So, yeah. Still, the One's Justices are absolutely fantastic, and I've done some reviews on them in the past, so yeah. Next up, Nero Automata. Again, M-rated game. Honestly, though, it's still fantastic, and I do actually like that there's actually a good rating, that they have like a whole bunch of ratings on this, and honestly, they do it justice. Like, GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10 saying riveting. Masterpiece from GG Magazine, 10 out of 10. Exceptional from PlayStation Universe, 9.5 out of 10. Superb from Destructoid. Dazzling from Games Radar. Highly entertaining from IGN. And IGN has the lowest rating on this, so you know it's good. Honestly, the biggest issue with this game, though, is the multiple endings issue. There is one ending for every letter of the alphabet, and one of the biggest issues is that people do not go for all of these endings. If they don't go for all of the endings, then they are missing out, because honestly, they add so much to the story and really make the game truly an amazing work of art. So, honestly, try to get all of the endings, because that will make this game truly amazing. Alrighty then. And moving on to Nino Kuni, which is yet again another game that I got the deluxe edition for. I think it might be the collector's edition. I'm not 100% certain. Obviously, Nino Kuni is one of the best game series there is. And if you haven't watched the movie and you haven't played the first game, do so immediately. And obviously, play the second game. I've talked about this extensively, but honestly, I absolutely love these characters, and their dynamic is honestly perfect. And I'm really sad because this is probably not showing up very well because of the fact that this is very green. So, yeah. Honestly, if you haven't played Ni no Kuni 2, then absolutely do. The other thing to mention is that all three Ni no Kuni things, the movie as well as both games, are only very loosely connected, only having a little bit of a connection throughout the entire series. But it is still a fantastic series that if you are looking for something interesting to check out, I absolutely do suggest playing the Ni no Kuni series. Next up, Overwatch. Played this probably the least amount of all of these games, but that's mostly due to the fact that I do not own PlayStation Plus. The reason I got this was because of the fact that Nintendo did the frickin' change so that now every single game that is online requires the frickin' stuff. Now, obviously, yes, frickin' PlayStation does as well and all of that stuff, but because of the fact that they added it to games that didn't require it before, that's why I got pissed off, and that's why I don't have Splatoon 2 anymore. So, yeah, still love the game, and I do plan on continuing to play it once I get PlayStation Plus back again, but who knows exactly how long. Also, I main snipers, so watch out if you ever see a sniper. It's probably me if you die really quick. All right, next up is Ratchet and Clank. Fudge. Oh boy. Probably one of the worst games here. Honestly, if you are looking to play Ratchet and Clank at all, I honestly suggest just getting one of the original versions. Like, holy crap. The movie as well as this game honestly suck, and if you have any interest in them, in Ratchet and Clank, stay the frick away from this. The only good thing about it is that you can redo it really fast and get everything done extremely quickly. The biggest issue, though, is that when you're trying to go get the trophies, yeah, some of those are a real big pain in the ass. But, yeah, that's not a huge deal. All right, next up, you knew it was coming. Here comes Skyrim. You probably didn't actually know that it was coming, but yes, Skyrim is here. This is the special edition, which has all of the DLC that was ever made for this. I do have another version for the PS3, and that does not have these special bonuses, but honestly, fantastic game. Honestly, everyone knows about Skyrim and knows that if they like it or not. So if you don't like it, then obviously don't get it, but everyone knows about this game. I don't need to talk about it more than that. All right. Next up, Soul Calibur 6. Yes, I have almost every single Soul Calibur. More accurately, I have two. My dad has 2. I have 4, 5, and 6. So, yeah. Yeah, 4, 5, and 6 are all mine, and it's just honestly hilarious. But I absolutely do love these games, and I've customized the frick out of characters. So, honestly, one of the best character customizations for any fighter. I honestly wish that other fighters could learn a thing or two from these guys, because they did a really good job. So, yeah, definitely, if you are looking for a good fighter, this is probably another one on top of the fact that I've already mentioned My Hero 1's Justice. So, yeah. All right, we're in the home stretch with Spyro. Oh, the Reignited Trilogy. Honestly, I absolutely love these games. I've played all 3 of the original versions, and honestly, Reignited does such a good job because all they did was revoice things and reanimate things. It is a one-for-one recreation of the game, and this is why I keep trying remakes, because this is perfect. And yes, I do plan on getting the Crash Bandicoot games. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But it is honestly, I love the Spyro Reignited trilogy. If you are looking for a good game or group of games, I do suggest it. Obviously, though, it is short, but that's because Spyro was always short. So, yeah. You can probably complete all of these in maybe 3 days. So, yeah, take that with a grain of salt. All right, next up, Spider-Man. Obviously, everyone loves Spider-Man. I've talked about it before. I've showed some loves for it. I've talked about this extensively, and so many other people have talked about it extensively. I don't need to do anything else about it. So, yeah, Spider-Man. Everyone loves it. All right, next up, Tekken. Tekken 7. Honestly, I keep forgetting I have this. I haven't gotten a single DLC character, and I don't play it nearly as much as I probably should. But I play all of my other fighter games way more. Like, even Super Smash Bros. I play more than this, and I've gotten that way more recently. This is the oldest of the fighter games that I have in my PS4 collection. And not my PS3 collection, because some of those have been around for years. But, yeah, this is my oldest PS4 game, and I just don't play it nearly as much as I probably should or should have. So, yeah, it's still a good game. It's not as good. It doesn't have good character customization, and it's just lacking. One of the biggest issues is just how many characters they've added, but you need DLC in order to play as them. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good game, and it's also the only game that I own that has a damaged cover. This is, like I said, this is my only game for PS4, or I think any of my game. No, wait. I do have a PS1 game that is damaged, but this is the only PS4 game that is damaged at all. And it's only the cover because it was in a bad place when I was moving between GCU and Fernley. So, yeah. So, yeah. And finally, we have the only game in this collection that does not have a cover. The World Ends With... No, wait. This is the World of Final Fantasy. Sorry. I keep forgetting that I have this, honestly. I've been trying to play it a lot more. But the problem is that World of Final Fantasy just isn't good. It's not good enough to actually sit down and just play it. It is a good game, don't get me wrong, but I honestly just never got into it as much as I probably should have. And it's, I believe, the only game that I haven't completed at all, like the story wise. Yeah. Yeah. This is the only game in my entire PS4 collection that I have not completed the game. The only thing that is even close to that in my entire game collection for not completion is Final Fantasy XII for the PS2. Everything else that's in my personal collection, I've gotten way further than I have for World of Final Fantasy. And that's just sad. Like, wow. It's still a good game, but honestly, if you haven't played it, you don't know what it's like, and that's just the biggest issue. Now, and that's all of my games that I currently own. Now, obviously, there are still PS4 games that I would like to check out and all of that stuff, and absolutely, I would like to play some of these other games in the future, but that is more than likely all of the PS4 games that I will ever be playing again for a long time. Yes, I will eventually get Sekiro, as well as I think there's a few other things I wanted to get as well, but I'm forgetting what they are. Oh yeah, not Ratchet and Clank, the Crash Bandicoot game. I absolutely do want to check, or the two games I do want to check out eventually. But yeah, it's honestly just sad to see all of these games that I've loved for years are now going to just stay on my shelf for a few years. And yeah, I love these games. I absolutely do. And they really have shaped who I am. I may not necessarily like all of these games or necessarily I won't give any really any of them would probably reach 10 out of 10 except for Kingdom Hearts. Obviously the Kingdom Hearts games are going to get their 10 out of 10s, but these games are good, and I would like to do a show it some love for every single one of these games, but unfortunately I more than likely just never will. So yeah, but I do love these games, and I hope that you guys will at least give some of these a chance and will enjoy playing these games as much as I have with the PS4, and will give them a chance. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Please, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. And of course, if you just haven't subscribed yet, but you have been sticking around for a while, please subscribe and ring the notification bell. It really does help, and only about 15% of people are actually subscribed. So, yeah, please subscribe. It really helps. And of course, leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. Of course, if you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comment. And if you have any suggestions for PS4 games that you'd like me to play, then also let me know down in the comments below. Also, I will be doing another review eventually, I'm not exactly certain when, of all of my PS3 games, as well as a review of all of my Wii games. I'm not going to be doing one for the Switch because of the fact that I do actually plan on getting more Switch games. So, yeah. And I'm also not going to do one for PS2 because currently I just have way too many in there that I could actually talk about. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have all enjoyed this video. If you have, like I said, leave a like. And of course, if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links, including our social medias and ways that you can support us financially, including our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I have been Electri Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!